everybody, this is Brian David Marshall coming to you from the Tournament Center at Magic Weekend Philadelphia. I'm here with Lukas Jaklovsky. Lukas went 5-0 in Modern yesterday, playing the Melira project, Project X, Melira. What do we call in this deck?
Well, mostly just Project Melira.
Project Melira. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the deck. Why did you choose this deck over some of the other combo or control or aggro decks in the format?
I tried some Splinter Twin decks. It didn't just fit my style. I mean, I was making a lot of mistakes and stuff like that. And this deck, I just really enjoy it, and I didn't basically any other deck. So, and I really need to enjoy my deck in order to play it well. So. Okay,
so the deck centers around Melira Sylvok Outcast. Tell us what this card lets your deck do.
Well, this card is there because of with Viscera Seer and Kitchen Finks or Murderous Redcap, it can either deal million damage or gain million life. And also, when you accomplish this, like when you have only the Kitchen Finks and you gain million life, you can also scry whole your deck and get to the Redcap or some way to get to it, and so you will win next turn basically every time.
Right. So for those of us who don't have like a median finish of like 50 at Pro Tours we play in like you do, I'll explain that. So Kitchen Finks has Persist, so that means when it goes to the graveyard, so say you sack it to a Viscera Seer, it comes back into play, and it's supposed to come back into play with a -1/-1 counter. But because of Melira, which says your creatures can't have -1/-1 counters placed on them, it fails to do so. And then you have a creature that's ready to persist again if you sack it to the Viscera Seer.
Exactly.
And so what you're saying is, I can just do this infinite times, right? Just sack this and gain as much life as needed to, you know, that it's impossible for my opponent to kill me, and then set up my deck so that I draw Murderous Redcap. And from the Murderous Redcap, you can now do the same thing, right? And now I can do infinite damage to you, because again, this is a card with Persist. But the deck's not quite as simple as just drawing those 3 cards, right?
Yeah. So there are some ways to get to those cards with Birthing Pod and a Chord of Calling, and some ways to like when some of those guys dies, there are ways to get to them. For example, with Reveillark, Sun Titan, and Eternal Witness. And the rest of the creatures are some toolbox of some cards that could be good.
So let's talk about some of the cards and where they're good.
Yeah.
Gaddock Teeg.
Gaddock Teeg is really good against those combo decks like Splinter Twin and 12 post decks. And even though it seems kind of counterproductive, because with those Chord of Callings and Birthing Pods, it doesn't work that well. But in order to get to him, you will probably have to use one of those cards, so it shouldn't make
because
any
he's
problem.
a one-of.
Yeah.
Right. So Tidehollow Sculler?
Well, that's just because if you want to make sure if your opponent doesn't have anything, so just can look for him.
Okay. Eternal Witness is obviously just rebuys any parts of the combo you're missing. One Fulminator Mage seems it's a little surprising.
From time to time, your opponent just will stumble on mana or anything, and this can just punish him because you are able to return him, for example, with Reveillark or the Eternal Witness. So from time to time, it will just win the game on its own.
And you can pod up to it from like a Wall of Roots or your other 2-drops. Ranger of Eos, the Bantuan Ruel.
Well, that searches for Viscera Seers.
Right.
I mean, from time to time, there's no other way to get to him. I mean, with Birthing Pod, you won't get to him because you don't have anything for 0 mana.
You chose not to play Dryad Arbors.
Yeah. And so Ranger of Eos is basically the only way, except obviously from the Chord of Calling, to get to him.
So you can sacrifice a Kitchen Finks and go right up to him, get the Viscera Seer, and start your whole combo. Also, Obstinate Baloth at 4, obviously good against the Zoo decks, the aggro decks. Murderous Redcap is a combo piece.
Yeah.
Acidic Slime, so I guess sort of pairs with the Fulminator Mage.
Yeah, and also for some unusual artifacts and enchantments. Or for example, you can just, if you're playing a mirror, you need to get rid of a birthing pod on the other side of the table. So.
Okay. And then Reveillark is pretty self-explanatory, and Sun Titan is just awesome.
Yeah, exactly. You're thinking about playing Massacre Worm because that's also an awesome card, but I don't know, we just like this a little bit better. So.
And then let's just look up here. You know, we saw the pieces that search out the deck. No Green Sun Zenith, I thought was interesting.
Yeah, I think there's just no place to play them.
Okay. And then 9 mana accelerators. We got 4 Birds of Paradise, a Noble Hierarch, and 4 Wall of Roots. Yeah,
because you really need to ram into those cards. And, I mean, you have to be fast because basically every combo deck just keep killing like on turn 4 or so. So you'll have to be able to kill them on turn 4 as well.
So interestingly, as I'm looking through your creature array here, I don't see Protean Hulk, Body Double. Like, so why did you guys choose to go with this route, this array of creatures, as opposed to like the Protean Hulk package?
Well, the thing is that we just didn't think it's fast enough. I mean, like going to 7 mana is quite hard, even with a birthing pod. And also, I don't really know how it works. So that's it.
Your honesty is appreciated in the tournament center.
Yeah.
So 22 lands, 4 forests, the 8 fetch lands, a filter land, 2 swamps, some of the Ravnica lands, and then 2 of the M10 lands.
No,
this is yeah.
Shards of Alara.
Shards of Alara, yeah. So you went all over the map for your lands. Let's talk a little bit about sideboard, because you get to play 2 out of your 3 games. You got to play with the sideboard. What are the cards for here? Let's start with the Canonist.
Well, it's just good against those red combo decks with the Empty the Warrens and Grapeshaw's Pyromancer SWAT decks.
Sure. The Harmonic Sliver.
That's really great in the mirror because you are able to fetch for it, destroy your opponent's birthing pod, and then once again sacrifice it. The only thing we are thinking about was replacing it with a Sylvok replica, because this way you have no way to get rid of a Torpor up. That's basically a GG for this deck.
Oh, sure. So Torpor means you can't search your deck, which means you don't get to play.
Yeah. It's just GG, really.
Yeah. Orzhov Pontiff.
Also against those Empty the Warrens decks, and also in the mirror, it's really good.
So you can just Chord of Calling that up?
Yeah, and you get to break his combo, so it's really good.
Shriekmaw, pretty self-explanatory. Yeah. Path to Exile, pretty self-explanatory. Spellskite, Thoughtseize. Linvala is kind of, what's going on with Linvala?
Linvala is basically against, mostly against mirror, because we kind of expected a lot of those decks, and it just breaks off all the acceleration and a whole combo. So
all your creatures still work, all of their creatures shut down.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Necrotal, pretty self-explanatory. Tell me about Tar Fiend.
That's a sideboard card against 12 post, because in order to beat 12 post, we think that you'll have just to get him to the top deck mode. We are not capable of winning against like a Miracle or something like that. So this is the way to just discard his whole hand, and after that he will just have to draw something.
Now, did you actually get to do that to a 12 post player this weekend?
I haven't played a 12 post yet. So,
really?
Yeah.
So what was the field like? So you played 5 rounds. Did you play like 5 different decks? Did you play?
I've played against 4 different decks. I played against some black-green rockish deck, with a Dark Confidence, Tarmogoyfs, and stuff like that. After that, I played against red-green Land Destruction. That was kind of sweet, because when she was on the draw, it's like, all right, she just started with a Noble Hierarch and started to destroy my lands from turn 2, and there was no way I could deal with that. I would just keep staring at my Wall of Roots in my hand and couldn't play them.
I can't quite get there. Yeah. So you went 5-0 in Constructed.
Yeah.
And then after 6 rounds of Limited, where are you standing right now?
8-3.
Oh, so your back's against the wall a little bit here.
Yeah.
So do you think there's another 4 to 4.5 wins in this deck?
Well, I don't really think so, because I'm not going to play against Rockish decks once again. So.
Okay, so now you feel like you're going into a more finely tuned portion of the field?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, I have confidence that you're going to play well and do well. Hopefully we'll get to see you again on Sunday.
Yeah.
For Lukas Jaklovsky, this is Brian David Marshall signing off from the Tournament Center.